AgoraCleveland.com always has the details on every single one of their shows, ironically. So you'll get my last pair this week. 2 tickets for Craig Ferguson this fall. Good luck. Caller 10, these are yours, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Our live stream is now Scratch and Sniff, in that you can scratch the screen and then sniff your fingers. Yeah, the Alan Cox Show.
100.7
WMMS.
Yeah, and thanks again to Swindy Gluckelstank for helping out in the live stream today. I have found my new favorite Instagram account, by the way. It's called Sun City 80's. It's all this great 80s synthwave.
Yeah.
And all of his compositions say things like, yeah, you caught the killer and the mayor's happy, but you're getting yelled at by the police kid and you need to... Something still isn't right. Something doesn't fit. You just solved the case and everybody's celebrating, but something doesn't add up. You're hanging around on your usual corner. You're the kind of bad guy that everybody's rooting for. For people old enough to remember 80s kind of movie music and synthy and guitar, here comes a guitar. Sun City 80's, 80S. I love this stuff.
There's
sunglasses at night, a little toothpick in your mouth.
When I'm driving home and it's like, not right now because now the sun's still up, but when the sun was setting as we were driving home, I would love
this is perfect night driving music.
Yeah, like dusk music or like or at night. Oh, I love it.
It's 1989 and the summer romance you both had has ended, but you just can't let her go. It's all keyboards and guitar. There's got to be one with saxophone.
The latest post 4 days ago. It's 1987. You put your aviator sunglasses and step out into the night in the city that never sleeps.
There it is. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about Kenny G's birthday the other day. You know, he turned 68.
I love this stuff too.
I love it.
Little sweaty sax.
Oh, man.
When you're having pensive moments.
Pensive moments. You're trying to find solace in the rhythm of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. It's 1987. You're driving towards the sunset with $1.3 million in stolen cash. It's all 80s cop movie music. Yeah. People old enough to remember. And these are all triggered, so the guy's playing all these on his keyboard, right? Yeah. He's got some of the keys triggered.
Sometimes he'll have somebody,
collabing
with the saxophone.
Yeah.
Go to the one. It's Saturday morning in 1987. You watch the city come to life from the penthouse apartment on the top floor.
Top floor, okay.
Like, I can see the scene.
Yeah.
Like, they do a good job, not just with the music, but setting the scene for you with the description.
It's got cityscapes in there, too, yes. There was a band probably 15 years ago. I can't remember the last time I loved a band so much and they went away. They were called the Day Sleepers. They're from Buffalo. And it was a guy and his sister and their friends. And they just made these amazing shoegazy Cure type music. They put out just a couple of albums, but they were self-producing them, and it's time consuming and it's expensive, right? And so those albums of theirs now are probably about 15 years old. But the one guy still makes music, and he's mostly making this kind of music now. I think he's got a band called Night Cruise or something. And I love that stuff too. But Day Sleepers was just a fantastic, fantastic shoegazy band that threw in all the kind of stuff, the Cure and Cocteau Twins and just all that great stuff. But they didn't last very long. The sound of the city at night.
This is going to be me and my Uber after
Yeah.
the contest tonight.
Yeah.
After the Miss Around the Corner contest.
I'll tell you what, when I was talking about how when I was off the air after my station in Chicago blew up, before I came to Cleveland, I was off the air for a year and a half. And I was selling. I was in the sales staff at what was then the Smooth Jazz station. And a couple days ago, I was talking about that was when I met Kenny G, as he had come through for some performance or something like that. But when I would go, before all of that, when I was still in college, that radio station, I wasn't a huge listener of it, but I think one of the things that got them to hire me coming from off the air onto the sales side was I was like, I would always listen to that station at night. You know what I mean? Like when I was living in other cities and I would come home and I was in a cab, if it was nighttime, the cabbies always had the Smooth Jazz station on.
Yeah.
And so I associate that with this kind of music.
Love me some
being in a cab at night.
Some smooth jazz.
Yeah.
We had like a jazz station playing before the show at Brothers Lounge on Tuesday. Just like a internet radio station. It was great. Like nobody knew the music, but everybody was like kind of bopping around. It was good. Like it was a little more upbeat. Wasn't quite smooth jazz, a little more up tempo than that, but it was fun.
Well, because that radio format for a long time, it was largely instrumental. So those radio stations, to kind of keep people going, they would kind of, there was some R&B in there, and but it was like when I first came to Cleveland, I couldn't believe there was a Smooth Jazz station on the air in Cleveland.
Yeah,
because it was the wave.
Yeah,
and I think it's been back and forth a couple of times, but I think it's gone for good. But again, 15 years, I've been here almost 15 years. And when I came to Cleveland, I could not believe they had, because those stations don't make any money.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of them went away. And I was like, oh my God, how does a market like Cleveland have a Smooth Jazz station? But it was around for a minute.
Kenny on the live stream said, this music is either for making love or being the most devious bastard in New York City.
Yeah, I think, again, I like their descriptions of like, you've just given the chief your badge and your gun, and you're walking off into the night.
So good.
Yeah.
Fun. But it is like you said, driving around with that music on.
City.
It feels good. Feels real good.
It's the 80s, and Steven Seagal is training you in his dojo for a secret mission in Japan. Because that's what this is, those Steven Seagal movies, right? When he would be training, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. He'd be doing fake
and they got
karate moves.
The little whistle in the back.
Yeah. Yep. Bamboo pipes and angular banjos.
The flute, whatever that is. Yeah.
This is when Kelly LeBrock is watching him fortify their house before the bad guys show up. Anyway, that's dynamite. And there's a lot of accounts like this. I'm sure that's why it was suggested to me on Instagram, because I'm sure I follow other ones like this, but this one really...
Yeah, I'll get dark wave playlists like that all the time.
Yep. That one really got me where I live. Alan, my birthday is the day after yours. You don't know when mine is. I'll be in
maybe they were on the funny bus.
Oh, yeah, maybe they were. Yeah. Anyway, the account is Sun City 80's on Instagram. 80 Sun City 80S for people who are asking me. And there's a lot of them like that. So if you follow one, it'll start probably suggesting other ones to you. But there's a lot of like synth wave, vapor wave kind of bands like that if you're into those.
As far as the funny bus goes, my week's sold out, the 12th. 19th is already sold out.
Yeah, next 2 weeks are sold out.
And the last one, I'll be doing the last one on the 26th, and there's, those are going to go fast. So
you can go to funnybus.net, look into the 26th. That will be our last one on this run. We did May and June Wednesdays, and they're a lot of fun. But yeah, the next 2 weeks are sold out. We are out Monday, by the way. So I will have 2 pair of tickets for you on Tuesday to join Bill on Wednesday. So there are 4 seats that are not sold because those are the tickets I have to give you. But I'll do them both on Tuesday since we're out on Monday. Costco has decided that they're not going to sell books anymore. If you ever go into Costco, you might not have noticed, but they have a massive thing in the middle of the store that is stacks of books. And this is not good news to publishing companies because Costco obviously
Sold a lot of books.
moves a lot of stuff. But I thought their reason for it was really weird and possibly lame. They said that it was not carrying books will cut back on labor costs because books they can't just bring out on a pallet and plop them down. The books have to be stacked by hand. So Costco is like, yeah, it's costing us too much to pay those, 3 people to stack books for 5 or 6 hours? The labor costs of paying people to stack books by hand. So here's what I think, and you should put this to everybody who thinks that this is some terrible development. Costco should say, okay, we can keep the books, but we've got to raise the price of that hot dog.
Don't you dare.
What do you think people will pick?
Don't you dare.
They will say, screw the books. We'll help you burn them. So all these people are screaming about the book. They're like, I'm an American. I eat. I don't read. All right? Good luck with the books. But I thought that explanation was super lame. Yeah, it costs us too much to pay those couple of people to stack books. But if you're a publishing company, you get an order from Costco and you're high-fiving because they move a lot of units. Costco's a big outlet for books. Because there's fewer and fewer brick and mortar. You know, there's like what's it, Crocker? A Barnes & Noble?
I think it's Barnes & Noble.
I don't even remember what's around it. I know Borders is gone, but
I think there's a Books A Million over in
Fairview Park.
Yeah.
Books A Million.
Bam.
And there's half-price books and, you know. So, yeah, Costco is going to stop carrying books. So maybe they'll have a big old sale or something over there. Last year, more than 767 million books were sold in the U.S. I wonder if they count audiobooks in that. I bet they do.
Yeah.
Because it makes it look better.
And now you can get audiobooks on, like Audible, where you do a subscription. A lot of, audio apps. Spotify does audiobooks on there now, too. So
yeah.
if you get a listen there, I feel like they go, hey, that was one sold. Or
right.
Something.
And obviously, books really blew up over the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
People were at home reading. But, yeah, hey, we'll keep the books, but that hot dog, that hot dog's going at $2. I tell you what, make it nothing but cookbooks, and you've got a deal. How about that? This is America. Just stock nothing but cookbooks.
Or just make it like the DVD bins that they have back in the day at Walmart.
Yeah.
Where it's like all the $5 DVDs. Just do that with the books. The books are just all, you just
in
dig
a giant
through.
bin?
Yeah, you just dig through and go like, all right, what am I getting here?
You don't have to pay people to stack them. You pay one guy to just whip them into a giant pen.
Exactly.
And then you dig through and find out. I still like buying physical books. I still do that. I buy hardcover books because I like them. I wanted a copy of The Last Laugh. Have you ever read The Last Laugh?
No.
It's one of the first, if not the first, book written about stand-up comedy. And it's probably, so it's all those old-timey comedians, but it's a very interesting book about the craft and the art of it. It's called Phil Berger is the guy who wrote it.
Phil Berger.
It's called The Last Laugh, The World of Stand-Up Comics. And it's like Pryor and Milton Berle and Rodney and Lenny Bruce. So it's that generation of comics, right? Because the book, I think, is probably from the early 70s. But it's like one of between The Last Laugh and Ladies and Gentlemen, Lenny Bruce. Those are like the two, for people who are really into stand-up, those are the two. So I was like, I want a copy of The Last Laugh because I didn't have one. I have Ladies and Gentlemen, Lenny Bruce, the Albert Goldman book. And I have Comic Insights, which is the Franklin Ajay book, which is great. And Born Standing Up, which is a quick read, but it's a great book. So I'm like, I want a copy of The Last Laugh. And I found a hardcover copy on Amazon. But I didn't pay that close attention. I said, buy now. It was $97.
Jeez.
And the one I'm looking at right now on thriftbooks.com is $119 hard. I don't ever do that. I just didn't pay attention to it. And it was $97. It's really old, so it's like an OG copy. And there aren't many left. But it's a very entertaining book. But yeah, I still like, and I have a Kindle. I always forget I have a Kindle. You know, like those OG Kindles back when you were putting like HBO and Netflix on them. I still have the old
They were
HBO
like the first,
Go app on
It
there.
was like before iPads really
yeah,
took
before
off.
Roku and all that stuff. I had HBO Go on my Kindle. So I still have it like on my nightstand, but I always forget it's there. But yeah, I like buying books. Now I buy I probably read, I buy them and then they stack up. But, you know, my wife is constantly listening to books. Alan, I miss my convertible because I would absolutely blast that stuff with the top down at night. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if somebody was driving by blasting that. It's the other stuff people are usually blasting that doesn't really scratch me in the right spots.
I'll do that with the windows down and the sunroof open.
There you go.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I mean, even the actual movie soundtracks, if you go back, like the Lethal Weapon music was Eric Clapton.
Yeah, it's
and
good
Mark
stuff.
Knopfler and those guys, so they were in the mix there. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's waking up in the morning hungover with drinking a warm beer, smoking a cigarette, while you reflect on your life, miss your dead wife kind of moments.
Living in a Airstream on the beach.
Yep.
Martin Riggs. You're a dirty cop in 1985 and nobody can know that you're the one leaking the intel. You drive from one scene of the crime to another as a lead detective, not to make sure things go as planned, but also to plant evidence.
Love it.
Get out of here, Murphy. Nobody wants you around. It's always a guy named Murphy. Where's another good one here? It's the 80s and you're falling for your late partner's wife. It's always cop-centric.
Yeah.
With nighttime cityscapes. That looks like Japan. What the hell is that? Scotty was a good man, and he took a bullet for me. I don't think it's right that we do this. I love you, Barb, but I can't betray Scotty. This is the great part of this account, is that all of the comments are people writing their own synopsis of what it would be. So the comments alone are fantastic. It's the 80s, and you left your hometown for a vacation in the big city. That's more Breakfast Clubby probably than anything else. All right, I got a break. Comedian Chris Redd is going to join us from SNL back in the day, and he is doing hilarities all this weekend. So we'll give you the details on that, and we'll pick his brain for a little bit. I'll also have a shot for you to get